Hey guys, I'm back. I want to talk about the different types of insurance policies that you can get on a home in Texas. We have a homeowner's insurance, which covers your house, other structures, that would be buildings not attached to your house, decks, pool, fencing, and personal property. That's covered under a homeowner's insurance. Additional living expenses, that's when you have to live outside the house and have extra expenses like rent and electricity, things like that. Medical bills for someone hurt at your house, and liability claims, your dog bit somebody, you injured somebody. But those are, and also if a tree falls on your neighbor's property and it was dead, diseased, or dying, that could be a liability claim on your insurance. Otherwise, if it's a healthy tree, it's theirs. There's also dwelling insurance, and dwelling insurance I would probably say is more like forced place policy or mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance only cares about the structure and the dwelling and other structures. They don't care about your personal property. They don't offer you ALE. They don't offer you liability or medical bills. It's only your house and the other structures, which is not really a good policy to have, so you should get your own, but if you don't, mortgage will place it. Condominium insurance. This pretty much pays exactly the same as dwelling, except it's just the inside of the condo. Your bylaws, when you purchased your condo, will tell you what you own. That could be sheetrock in, could be studs in. It covers your appliances, everything that homeowners would. Then there's renters and tenant insurance, and that's personal items inside the apartment or other rented building, the structure, and that's, I guess that's what we call, the build out portion would be betterment. Kind of makes a big deal. I had a water claim in which the lady did have betterment coverage because she had a franchise. She had a Monkey Joe's, and so she had a franchise, and it had to be their colors, their stripes, their signs, their everything. So she had that. So when she had a severe sprinkler malfunction, it paid for the whole entire interior structure. It also pays for additional living expenses, or it can, medical bills, liability, but it does not cover the inside or outside of the building or structure, because a tenant or liability, like a tenant renter's insurance, tenant renter's insurance is not going to cover a structure that's not owned by you, and it won't cover medical bills for you or your family living in the home, but it will cover ALE. And the reason I say this is because some people have renter's insurance that just pays for stolen property, but then there's the other insurance, and that's the other one that you want. A lot of apartments require you to have it so that they can subrogate if in the event that, say, you had a candle, your cat knocked it over or something, their insurance may want to come after you. Oh, on the condominium coverage, unlike homeowners, it doesn't cover the outside of the building, doesn't cover medical bills. Like I said, it only covers studs in, sheetrock in, sometimes balconies, sometimes not balconies. It just goes back to your bylaws when you purchased it. Other things to know is that flood damage is not covered. It has to be its own policy, flood policy. Wind and hail may not be covered, and if you live 50 miles from the coast, you have to have Texas windstorm insurance, so your homeowner's policy would not cover that. You have to have two coverages, one for wind, hail, and one for the interior. That would be vandalism, water, fire, things along those lines. And then how much money you get depends on the policy you get. So if you bought a policy that was an actual cash value, you would have, actual cash value, I ran out of air. That would mean that you don't get the recoverable depreciation on the replacement. So again, if you need to replace a TV and it costs the same TV is $1,000, but you only have actual cash value, you may only see 500 of it, and that's it. You may need to get other insurance, and that'd be like sewage backup or a foundation or slab damage, or specific personal items, like if you have expensive artwork or antiques, or maybe your jewelry is over the top. Maybe you need extra liability because you run a business out of your house. You could look into an umbrella. And then there's also cyber insurance, just in case, you know, someone steals your data. That's not normally covered under a homeowner's policy. So I just wanted to give you those little tidbits. Stay safe and be prepared.